Welcome to Our College, Your Voices. I am your host, Kara Monroe. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about Student Leadership Academy. The Ivy Tech Student Leadership Academy, or SLA, as I'm sure we'll refer to it during the episode, is a leadership development program designed specifically for Ivy Tech students. SLA provides the opportunities for students to further enhance their leadership development and professional development skills while learning about the history and traditions of the college. SLA is a 20 contact hour program that occurs during the fall semester. Students apply to the program through a very competitive application process. This past year, nearly 800 applications were submitted for the 230 spots in the program. I am really pleased to have three people here today who are deeply involved in the Student Leadership Academy program to talk with you. And first up is Fred Duttlinger. Hi, Fred.
Hi, Kara.
How are you today?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
I am so glad to have you. Could you talk a little bit more about your role at the college?
So my role at the college is I'm the Veteran Affairs Coordinator for Lafayette campus. I deal with all things veteran related. I've been at the school for coming on 7 years, and I've been doing Student Leadership Academy. This is now my third year doing that. And I also have a fun time of teaching world history and U.S. history when I get the time.
Excellent. A man of many talents. That's wonderful. Fred, it's great to have you on the show today. Thank you. And next up is Dr. Samantha Levy-Arnold. Hi, Sam.
Hi, how are you, Kara?
I'm good. I always call you Sam, so I apologize that I probably will get very informal very quickly. Tell us a little bit about your role here at Ivy Tech.
Sure. I'm an associate professor of English at Ivy Tech Bloomington. I've been here for about 6 years now. I also co-facilitate Student Leadership Academy. I co-coordinate a Youth Leadership Academy we do at our campus, and I'm also the Phi Theta Kappa Indiana Regional Coordinator.
Wonderful. Thank you. And last but not least is Kat Stromecki, who's actually the guest producer for all the episodes we're doing today, and who I am looking at through what I'm calling our sound booth system today. So we'll have to take a picture of this and tweet it out. Hey, Kat.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be a part of many of the podcasts that are going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks. So my role at the college is officially the executive director of student life and wraparound services. So I get to work with our student life team and also our wraparound services team. One of my things that I get to do as the student life person is I am the behind the scenes lady for all things SLA. So our student life directors and our facilitators across the state are administering the program to our students and working with our students, but I'm the one that says, hey, this is how many applications you have, and hey, we've got to get your student leadership practices inventory set up. And I get the fun of coordinating the SLA graduation, which is always super fun at the end of the semester. So that's a little bit about what I do with SLA.
Excellent. I'm so excited about the graduation. This is the first year that I get to participate, and I cannot wait.
Oh, it is really the best. It is beautiful down at the Conrad, and the students love it. And it's a really great time.
I can't wait to hear it. So, all right, let's dive into some questions here. So let's start with, what is SLA? We've given you a little brief introduction, but I know we want to go into a little bit more detail. And how did it get started?
Okay, well, you know what? I think I'll take that one. So our SLA has been running since fall of 2012. It came about from a student life director project. We had a couple of academies that were happening across the state, and they looked different. Some were for a semester, some were over the course of 2 semesters. It varied based on how many students they were offering. The curriculum was all different. And so the student life directors came together at the beginning part of 2012 and developed a statewide curriculum and some consistency with that. So our first year of that was the fall of 2012. That's when we started using the Student Leadership Challenge curriculum. And when we added in things like professional development and history and traditions of the college. And so originally we started with 15 students per region, because we were regions back then. When we switched to the campus model, we've done some different things with that as far as numbers of students, just because, we want to make sure that the program is still small and intimate, because we feel like that's really important to have no more than 15 students per SLA. So our C1s have 15 students, our C2s have 12, and our C3s have 10. And we've been doing that for 2 years now, and we've figured out that actually works really well for us with the campus sizes. Our program is has become so popular across the state. As you mentioned, Kara, we had almost 800 applications for this program. And I think that's always a very big surprise to students and to anybody at the college, that this isn't just something that everybody gets to do. And so it's very competitive. I had a campus with over 100 applications, which is incredible.
That's incredible. Yeah.
So what students get out of the program, aside from learning leadership skills and things like that, is they actually get a medallion that's been specially designed for Student Leadership Academy, and they'll get that at our graduation ceremony. But then that is something that is part of the approved college regalia, so they can wear it at their commencement ceremonies when they finish their credentials with us. They also get a certificate, and they get a 3 credit hour scholarship for spring semester.
That is fantastic. What a great program. And we talked a little bit about the curriculum in the introduction, but I know that having met a lot of students who have completed SLA, I know they learned so much. Some of that is varied by campus. So can you talk a little bit about what the other things that students learn in SLA are?
Yeah, you know what, Fred? I think that's a really great question for you. I know you do a couple of different things in addition to our statewide curriculum that the students have really appreciated. And Sam, I think you've got a couple of things too.
First of all, hats off to Kat for being behind the scenes lady running this for the whole state. Couldn't imagine doing her job or anyone else running it the way she does. So thank you so much, Kat. For as far as what we do, one of the things that I've seen a lot of success with my student cohorts with is I run a section over parliamentary procedure, Robert's Rules of Orders, running a meeting, and we kind of get into the nitty gritty with it, because if there's one thing that nobody likes, it's a poorly ran meeting. So I get into, we run different exercises and activities over agendas, Robert's Rules of Order, procedures, things of that nature. And some of the feedback I've gotten from some of my students who've graduated with it is that they've really appreciated it in order to take it to their student groups and things of that nature. So I know it's been applied outside of SLA. So that's one of the things that we do up at our campus.
I love that, and I'm going to steal that. In Bloomington, we do a lot of professional development activities. For example, we do elevator pitches and how to do a professional handshake. We focus a lot on workplace and classroom etiquette. We also do dining etiquette, and we do this little mock cocktail party with them. They really enjoy. They have to hold a drink and a plate and, shake hands and do their elevator pitches. So they practice for the SLA graduation at the Conrad.
That is fantastic. And I still struggle with balancing the plate and the cup and shaking hands at the same time. So I might have to come for that.
It's so true. I know
our guest speaker.
I know at our Columbus campus, he actually prints up business cards for each of his students.
Oh, how cool.
And so during their etiquette reception, they have an assignment where the students have to meet up with so many people. He'll invite special guests in from the community and from the campus. And the students have to, I believe, get rid of all of their business cards by the end of the event. And so, another trick is balancing all the things. And then also, here's my business card.
Right.
So I know that's a lot of fun. And it's probably also important for us to explain what the Student Leadership Challenge is. Sometimes we talk about SLC and just assume everybody knows, but there are 5 things that students learn with SLC. And that is model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. So,
excellent.
So great leadership skills for students, especially I think when I was teaching SLA, I think the one that students struggled with the most was challenge the process. And I don't know if that's the case for you folks, Sam and Fred, but I think students are sometimes a little shy to challenge the process. But then on the other hand, sometimes we do get a couple of students who that's their favorite practice. And so we have to have conversations about when to appropriately challenge the process.
So for all of you, since all of you facilitate, I think any one of you could answer this question, but I'll put Sam on the spot to start first. What do you enjoy about facilitating Student Leadership Academy?
There is so much I enjoy about facilitating it. I started out as a guest speaker. I was asked to come speak about professional communication, and I kind of fell in love with the program just from that one experience. And then I got more involved the next year and more involved until I was asked to co-facilitate with Student Life. I love having shared experiences with students. This program in particular is really relevant to these students' lives, where they are now and where they're going to go, where they want to go. And I get to help them make those connections, which is something that I truly enjoy doing.
Excellent. Fred, what about you?
So piggybacking off of what Sam said, the relevancy aspect of it is one of the things I really enjoy with this program. The students are able to come in, and it's not theoretical leadership and things of that nature. The stuff they learn in SLA is stuff that they can immediately take and apply to their life in college, going off into the business world, if they go to grad school, wherever they're going for their bachelor's degree, wherever they're going after this. It's really applicable. And the Student Leadership Challenge gives them those 5 traits that they need to learn, and that you can apply that in all different leadership aspects, not just in the business world or something like that. It works whether you're leading your family, whether you're at volunteer work, things of that nature. It really applies everywhere. And then as far as getting to just interact with the students afterwards and seeing how they're applying it, whether they're moving on to be presidents or officers of the student groups on campus, being part of on-campus student leadership, just seeing it applied is just really, kind of warms the heart.
I would say for me, kind of what you're saying, Fred, one of my favorite things is I would get to know 15 students really well. And as a student life person, getting to know students in that deeper way would usually lead towards them getting more involved on campus and in their communities. And I agree with you, Fred. One of my favorite things is to see them then use those skills that they've learned in other places, either at the college or in their community.
So you guys have segued perfectly into my next question, which is, these are students who are going to continue with us in almost every case. So what have you gotten to see them do as a result of participating in Student Leadership Academy?
I've got a great example. One of my students from last year, she was in the academy and wasn't terribly involved on campus. She was coming in as a freshman in her first semester, and afterwards she jumped into, I think she was leading SNE, I do believe, and she took SNE to, I don't want to say the next level, but she really expanded out what SNE did, its involvement in the community. Membership grew for SNE underneath her, and it was great because she kept pushing SLA to other students. She actually wrote 2 letters of recommendation for 2 of her junior officers for this year, actually. So seeing her go out there and take what she learned and just take that self-confidence that she discovered that she had through SLA and apply it was just fantastic to watch.
And for those of you who are not from the Lafayette campus, SNE is Students for Nursing Excellence.
Excellent. Thank you. I was going to ask.
In Bloomington, we usually give first dibs to other leadership opportunities to our graduates. For example, attending Day at the State House or Student Leadership Conference. Many of our graduates also go on to take leadership positions with SGA or CAB or Phi Theta Kappa, and many also get hired on at the college as part-time employees. But what was really neat was actually yesterday, one of our current student leaders in the academy is a former homeless person. She's moved up here from Florida, kind of hitched her way up, had to be homeless in Bloomington for quite a while. Now she's in school. And yesterday she pitched her small business idea. We have a thing called Duke It Out, small business ideas. They pitch, and she came in 3rd place and won $200. So that was really neat to see her kind of grow so much in these, we've done 6 weeks so far, and see tremendous change in her. She's definitely becoming a leader in the community, which is nice to see.
That is fantastic. And that story is a testament to the grit our students have. You know, we all know, and we're becoming even more aware of the epidemic of homelessness and housing insecurity within our student population, and to be able to deal with that issue and to also persevere and work through a program that's as intense as Student Leadership Academy is, while also doing your schoolwork is incredible. So kudos to her and to all of you at the Bloomington campus for supporting her. That's fantastic. So I think we've talked a lot about this, but I want you guys to give the sales pitch here real quick. Why would a student want to participate in Student Leadership Academy?
Well, I think personally, it's, selfishly, I'm going to say this, it's one of the best programs that I think we offer at the college. And we've got killer retention rates with it. The students get a lot out of the program. It's well run. The curriculum is very solid. But I truly think one of the reasons why students want to do it and should do it is because they see what an impact it can have on them, not only in their academic life, but in their future career life. When you're reading the applications, you'll get responses from students who say that they want to do this because they want to take on a leadership role in their work life, or when they graduate they know that they need these types of skills, that employers are looking for these types of skills. So I think that's a really big reason why our students should do it, and why it works so well for them.
You have the obvious tangible perks, the scholarship, the medallion. It looks good on a resume, like Kat said. But beyond that, our students get to figure out who they are in the program. One of the authors of the book we use, Barry Posner, said that leadership isn't a monologue, it's a dialogue, a conversation. And they really get that conversation, that time to figure out what are their strengths, what are their values, what makes them credible as a leader. And you see so much growth in them over the course of the program.
So we've talked a little bit about the benefit to students, but there are opportunities for faculty and staff to get involved as well. So if someone wants to get involved with Student Leadership Academy, what can they do?
So I think from my perspective, one of the things that faculty and staff can do is just kind of how Sam got involved with the program. I know the facilitators are always looking for folks to come in and take pieces of the curriculum and teach with them, because, our program is a 10-week program. And some of our campuses teach it in 5 weeks and some of them teach it in 8 weeks. But it's, when you're talking about a 20 contact hour program, it's essentially like teaching a 2 credit hour class for our student life directors and our facilitators. And so anytime they can have somebody come in and take some of that facilitation is always really helpful to them. And it's also really helpful to the students to hear about leadership from a different perspective. I know when I was teaching, I would invite our campus chancellor in, and he would take a night and talk with them about leadership. And one of the great things about Dr. Baith is he would always find a way to work history into that. And so the students always got a really great history lesson out of it. Another thing that folks can do is, we're always looking for good students for the program. And so it's important for faculty and staff who have good relationships with students to encourage students to apply for the program and submit a quality application. I once had one of my student leaders who just assumed he would get into the program and had, going back to what we said earlier, where students are kind of surprised that it's competitive. And he submitted an application that I think took him all of maybe 4 minutes. No capital letters, no punctuation, any of that type of stuff. Very, very little detail. And he didn't get selected, and he was surprised. And I was like, well, you didn't take your application seriously. And I had 60 applications. And so, talking with students about when they are applying, taking that application really seriously, because we do read literally every single one of them.
One of the things I would say as far as getting involved is encouraging those students who may not have the self-confidence, or they may be some of our non-traditional students, older students, returning single parents, whatever it is, encouraging them to apply for the program. Maybe all they need is that extra boost to tell them, no, yeah, you can go do this. They may have never viewed themselves as a leader. They're really quiet on the inside. Our faculty and our staff have a lot of great connections with our student body, and they know who some of those students are who just would benefit so much from this program. So getting them out there and encouraging the students that they eye, and they know that there's a leader inside there to apply is a great thing.
I don't know about you all, but whenever I meet the cohort for the first time, there's always quite a few who are like, oh my gosh, you picked me. Why did you pick me? Just like Fred said, they need sometimes a little boost, and they need the program, and they deserve the program, and supporting that is just so helpful.
You guys, this is so great. I'm even more excited for SLA graduation. This episode will probably release right around that time. So you can also watch my Twitter feed for some pictures from the graduation. That's our first call to action. Our second call to action to end this episode is think about how you could get involved with SLA. Reach out to your student life person on campus. They can put you in contact with the facilitator if it isn't them for some reason. And I will just put this out there to all the student life directors across the state. If I can take a part in any of your campus facilitation, I would absolutely love that opportunity. So please feel free to reach out. And I think that's what they call modeling the way, isn't it? So keep an eye out for the show notes. We'll put a link to the list of the student life directors across the state. I think we've got a list we can put in there in the show notes. Thanks for joining this episode of Our College, Your Voices. I want to thank the members of the panel for a great conversation today. Fred Duttlinger, Dr. Samantha Levy-Arnold, and Kat Stromecki. Thanks to all three of you. It was a great conversation. I'm your host, Kara Monroe. You can connect with me on Twitter at KNM Tweets. Our producer for this episode is Kat Stromecki. Kat's just the December episode producer. That's just going to be her title for the rest of the time. You can reach us by email at ourcollegeyourvoices@ivytech.edu. And I want to thank, before I give the voicemail number, all of you who did call in when I said, hey, the voicemail number is really lonely. Can you help me test to make sure it's working? We actually had 4 voicemail messages this month, which was fabulous. So do leave us a voicemail, 317-572-5049. If you're a student who's listening and you've participated in Student Leadership Academy, we would love to hear from you, especially about your experience. So again, that number is 317-572-5049. Our website is ivytech.edu/podcast. Production assistance for this and every episode provided by Becky Campbell, Sarah Ferguson, and the Ivy Tech Community College marketing team. And our podcast concept is by Matthew Pittman. Theme music, recording, and post-production services provided by the incredibly talented Jen Ease at the Brassi Broadcasting Company. And we will talk to you next time on Our College, Your Voices.